Part 51. Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzhu. Chapter 501. Wang Feng looked at the people around him, then took a deep breath and said slowly. Everyone. Maybe you have heard something on the side. The divine weapon of the Devourer clan mentioned by the instructor and Wang Mi, Apocalypse, is here with me. I was the first to recognize it as its owner. At that time, I have been bitten by zombies and am ready to leave this world and join the zombie army. Later, Wang Feng recounted his experience of receiving the apocalypse, including the appearance of the slender monkey. After finishing speaking, Wang Feng continued. It is precisely because of apocalypse that I have so many potions to provide to our base. It is also the credit of apocalypse that you can become awakened one smoothly. As long as there is enough life energy, I can create a large number of awakened ones. So, the invasion of Devourer is a crisis for us humans, but it is also an opportunity for our hope base. To make awakening potions, a lot of life energy is needed. If there is no Devourer, it is impossible for all of our Guardian Legion, and even the Hope Legion, to become awakened. This time it's because I killed a large number of Devourers, absorbed their bodies, and converted them into life energy. Coupled with their huge spaceship, I had enough life energy to come back. I hope that all members of the Legion will have the confidence to be promoted to the awakened ones. In a year's time, the Devourer's brood will come again. Regarding his situation, the instructor has just said that their supply of troops is almost endless. However, this is also an opportunity for us to plunder life energy. We only need to withstand their first wave of attacks. After that, we will have a steady stream of life energy, and more awakened ones will appear in our base. As long as we drag this war into a confrontation stage, then the balance of victory will slowly tilt towards us. Because the instructor just said that there is a certain limit to the number of Devourers that can be controlled by the Devourer brood at the same time. In other words, although there are endless reinforcements, the combat power of the Devourers is in a constant state. So, in the war with Devourer, the early stage is our most difficult moment. As long as we get through that moment, our strength will gradually surpass them, and we may even have a chance to keep them all here. As for the enemies behind Devourer, none of us know who they are or their strength. We only know that they must be stronger than Devourer, but we must understand more that no matter what kind of enemy, there is only one way. Kill. 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 The crowd's voices rose to the sky, erupting with powerful momentum. Wang Feng is right, no matter what kind of enemy, strong or weak, as long as it is an enemy, there is only one way, kill. 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 Before assigning the next task, I want to confirm it with you first. After everyone calmed down, Wang Feng looked at the instructor and killer Sang Xiao, and said softly. You are not human, but your goal is the same as ours, which is to kill the Devourer brood. In fact, the ultimate goal is just to survive. Because the brood has threatened our survival, I am right. Bar. Of course, for you, Sang Xiao, killing the brood is also to avenge your own people, but I think the first and most important thing is the continuation of your race, right? Wang Mi didn't speak and just nodded, while Li Yingning didn't show any expression at all. Wang Feng didn't care and continued. Since we have a common enemy, we can be regarded as allies for the time being. I think you should understand the meaning of allies. In fact, our status is similar to before. You have been helping us before. Although the instructor also said yes, you all have a purpose, but I still want to thank you. Our cooperation should be easier in the future, because you still had some scruples about your identity before. Just like Sang Xiao, you used light teleportation to save me, but you had to hide your identity and let your leader pretend to be a human. Lies have come to trick me. This situation will no longer be needed in the future. Moreover, I can also give you a promise here, At this point, Wang Feng looked at Duan Lei, Lu Feng, and others and said, "This is just a suggestion. Say it." After that, anyone who has other opinions can put it forward and we can discuss it together. After all, if we want to cooperate, we must first clarify some details, that is, be polite before fighting, so that no one has to worry about it in the future. Including you. Number 7. I think that although the agreement between us has been completed, but in the mother before the nest is destroyed, you should stay at the Hope Base, right? Number 7 glanced at Li Yingning, and then nodded. Even the prince stayed here. How could he, a little elite devourer, dare to go out and run around? Wang Feng saw that number 7 agreed, so he continued. As for the way we cooperate, naturally all three parties will use their full strength. We all know that the devourer army is definitely not easy to deal with. If anyone is hiding and cannot work together, our alliance will not be able to. What's the use? So from today until the devourer's brood is destroyed, during this period, all of us must use our full strength to kill the devourer. Is there no problem with this? Wang Feng looked at Li Yingning. He was not too worried about the three children, because they had been helping the Hope Base fight before. For them, there was no change from before. Li Yingning saw Wang Feng's eyes and understood what he meant, so she nodded slightly, but then said, "I can only be responsible for activities within this planet. If we want to assassinate the brood later, I can provide a plan, but we can't do it together. Go, because I was conceived by the mother's nest. After getting close to him at a certain distance, it can remark me with the mother's nest, and I have no power to resist." No problem, Wang Feng agreed happily. It is your obligation as an ally to help us with all your strength. Next, I will tell you what you can get. Wang Feng looked back at Lu Feng and others behind him, and then at Duan Lei beside him. Duan Lei nodded slightly, indicating that he had no objection. If we finally achieve our goal, we successfully kill the brood and destroy the devourer, as our ally, I promise you that you can choose your lifestyle according to your wishes. Instructor, you can continue your previous life and live on our planet as a human being. The same goes for you. Number 7. Your identities, including those of the third primary school, are all like this. Everyone here will help you keep it secret. No, your identity will be disclosed to the outside world. If you want to leave, we will do our best to provide you with the resources you need. We can even promise that as long as we have it on our planet, we will try our best to meet your needs first. Of course, this does not include our human lives. But the premise is that you can't hurt humans, at least, you can't actively kill people, and we may still have enemies after the devourer, so it's up to you to decide whether to go or stay. Can our tribesmen also receive this treatment? Wang Mi suddenly asked. Wang Feng thought for a while, then glanced at the others, and saw that the others nodded slightly to him, so he looked back at Wang Mi and said, "That's okay, as long as you don't take the initiative to hurt others. I can even set aside a special one of your cities, let's say Black Dragon City, will completely hand over the city to you, and we humans will never interfere in any of your affairs. Then there is no problem on our side. However, because I am avoiding the devourer, I cannot contact my tribe for the time being. Therefore, I cannot guarantee whether they can contribute, but the three of us are definitely still the same as before. Completely obey the command. Furthermore, because we needed to conceal our identities before, we have not used our full strength. Now I can tell you that each of the three of us has the ability to kill the commander-level devourer alone. If the three of us join forces, even if the mother, we can also kill one of the nest guards instantly." Wang Feng was surprised. Then he looked at Li Yingning. Li Yingning nodded lightly, "That's right. If the three of them join forces, if it's me, I might suffer a loss if I'm not prepared. But they can't kill me, but they have no problem killing the brood guards. However, I don't recommend that you let the three of them kill the devourers now. In my opinion, those devourers are your rare training resources, so I will lead the devourer commander away instead of taking them away. Kill them all. Wang Feng nodded and said, I understand. That's it? Do you have anything to add? Li Yingning shook his head to express that he had no problem, and number 7 did the same thing. The three young men looked at each other, and then said, let's leave it like this for the time being. We also understand your character. In short, we just have to try our best and do no harm in the future. To humans, you shouldn't be able to deal with us. Of course. After all, you have saved my life. No matter what you are doing, I will remember this love. So, if everyone has no objections, then I will assign a plan of action in the future. As soon as Wang Feng finished speaking, a hurried call suddenly came from the intercom. Call the headquarters. Call the headquarters. There is only one zombie on the Black Dragon Bridge. It is all blood red. It is a type of zombie we have never seen before. It has jumped over the Black Dragon Bridge and is now at the bridgehead fortress. But it is not it's hurtful. It just keeps yelling and waving its arms. It seems to be gesturing, trying to tell us something, but we can't understand it. Can you please tell us how to deal with it? Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzhu. Chapter 502. Wang Feng and Duan Lei were both startled when they heard the call from the intercom, while Lu Wanting and Zhang Xiu on the other side had already shouted, Xiao Wu. That's right. His whole body was blood red and he was not hurting anyone. What else did he want to tell them? The first image that emerged in the minds of the core members present was that of Xiao Wu, who had become a zombie-like monster. When they were in Haki City, these core members were all present. Except for Wang Feng, who was teleported away by the Kali tribe because of intercepting missiles, the others could be said to have been rescued by Xiao Wu, and Xiao Wu's image is special, and they will certainly not forget it. Don't hurt it, we'll be here right away, Wang Feng shouted into the intercom. Then, before he had time to explain to others, he started the blast and galloped towards the Black Dragon Bridge. No one knows how much of Xiao Wu's sanity he maintains now. After a while, the waiter got impatient and had a conflict with the bridge guards. No matter who was hurt, Wang Feng didn't want to see it. Anyway, he is now at the Hope Base, and with the instructors and the 3 juniors, the 4 top combat powers, it doesn't matter if he activates his powers and consumes some energy. Seeing Wang Feng leaving, Duan Lei, Zhang Xiu, Lu Wanting and Chen Tianhao all rushed out, jumped on a hurricane at the door of the club, and drove towards the Black Dragon Bridge. Due to the activation of the blast, Wang Feng quickly arrived at the Black Dragon Bridge. In front of the bridgehead fortress, the guardian soldiers guarding the place were surrounding a zombie with blood-red body in the middle. This zombie seemed to know that someone was coming. Come on, I no longer gestured, but stood quietly and waited. Bang, Wang Feng landed directly in front of the zombie and stared at the zombie. After Xiao Wu turned into a zombie, this was the first time Wang Feng met it. Although he had heard about Xiao Wu's image from everyone before, when he actually saw Xiao Wu, Wang Feng still felt uncomfortable in his heart. He still remembers the 2 teenagers who knelt on the ground, cried and begged him to save their camp, and called him Big Brother. Now, one of them has died in order to save Lu Wanting, and the other, has become this look. Seeing Wang Feng, the blood-red zombie was stunned for a moment, and then he knelt heavily on the ground and let out an almost whimpering roar. This zombie was of course Xiao Wu. Although he only spent a little time with Wang Feng, it still left a deep impression on Xiao Wu's heart. The moment Chen Shaoan died, Xiao Wu's consciousness awakened, and the previous memories returned to his mind instantly. Asking Wang Feng to take action, he went to the Black Wolf camp to ask for help, but was tied to the car by the Black Wolf, cut off the flesh from his limbs, cooked it and eaten it in front of him. For the young man, this was simply a nightmare. A nightmare that will never be forgotten. Then Wang Feng turned out, not only saved himself, but also fulfilled his wish, and even gave himself a bottle of potion. Although he became like this, Xiao Wu still had no resentment towards Wang Feng in his heart, but full of gratitude. He still remembers that after his consciousness awakened, he recalled that when he drank the potion and instantly became violent, and his whole body was filled with power, tearing the two demons who ate his flesh into pieces, the feeling in his heart carefree. It was precisely because of this that he was able to untie his knot, and he did not feel that there was anything unacceptable about his current image. After all, he was still alive, which was considered lucky compared to his brother Chen Shaoan. A lot of. After Xiao Wu knelt down, Wang Feng further confirmed his identity, and hurriedly stepped forward to help Xiao Wu up, regardless of the adhesion of flesh and blood on his body. At the same time, he made a request to Tianqi in his heart, that is, let Tianqi help Xiao Wu become one. The potion must be suitable for Xiao Wu and can be added to the life core. After Tiankai changed the weapon spirit, Wang Feng became a lot more convenient. If he had encountered this situation before, Wang Feng would have had to ask for a long time, asking Tiankai to give him options one by one, and then choose one suitable for Xiao. But now, with just one sentence, Tiankai can directly consider the situation and synthesize a potion according to the best plan. After Xiao Wu was helped up, he screamed at Wang Feng and kept gesticulating with his arms. A stream of stench spurted out from his mouth, but Wang Feng didn't dislike it at all and just looked at Xiao Wu with a smile. Said softly, "Xiao Wu, you can understand what I'm saying, right?" Roar, Xiao Wu nodded repeatedly. "Okay. Then don't worry, wait a moment, I have a gift for you." Wang Feng patted Xiao Wu on the shoulder. Although Wang Feng could communicate with Xiao Wu with the help of Tiankai, Wang Feng still felt that it seems that Xiao Wu's language ability should be restored. Li Tianxiang had already told Wang Feng about his encounter with Qingxun and Jianqian, and learned that Jianqian had recovered her language ability. Wang Feng was also very happy and wished Qingxun in his heart that the true love between these two people, whether before or after the end of the world, all appear precious. It is precisely because of this that Wang Feng feels that since Xiao has regained consciousness, he should also be able to regain his language skills. As for the core of life, Wang Feng will never be stingy with the people around him. After hearing Wang Feng's words, Xiao Wu gradually calmed down, and Wang Feng waved to the guards, saying, "It's okay, everyone disperse, he is not an enemy." After hearing Wang Feng's words, the guards stood at attention and saluted Wang Feng, then all entered the fortress and returned to their respective posts. Although they were also a little curious about this strange zombie, the guards were strictly disciplined and it was impossible for them to stay and watch because of curiosity. "Okay. This should be okay," Tiankai's voice sounded, and then a potion appeared in Wang Feng's hand. Wang Feng raised the potion, looked at it carefully, and then opened the bottle and sent it to Xiao Wu, looking at Xiao Wu and said, "Xiao Wu, if you still believe me, drink this." Looking into Wang Feng's eyes, Xiao Wu did not hesitate at all. Without even looking at the potion, he reached out and took it, then raised his head and drank it clean. "Let him sit down, tell him that it might be a little painful for a while, but it will pass if he holds on." Tiankai saw Xiao Wu drink the potion, so he said to Wang Feng, "Xiao Wu, sit down, it will be a little painful for a while, just bear with it." Wang Feng patted Xiao Wu on the shoulder and said. Xiao Wu nodded, then sat down cross-legged. Wang Feng stepped back a few steps and looked down at Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu still maintained the shape that he had left him in that room before. His arms and thighs were still bare without flesh, but the originally white bones turned blood red, which looked even more creepy. Less than a minute after drinking the potion, Xiao Wu's body began to change. The exposed bones on his body emitted a faint red light, and the flesh and blood on his body began to grow slowly. And Xiao Wu's body began to tremble slightly, and the amplitude of the tremor began to gradually increase. Obviously, at this time, Xiao Wu had already felt the pain from his body. However, although Xiao Wu felt pain at this time, he was ecstatic in his heart, because he no longer felt pain after he became this monster. The pain nerves in his body seemed to be completely ineffective after he became a zombie. Even if he tore off the pieces of rotten flesh on his body, he could not feel any pain at all. This feeling may be enviable, but when it really happens to oneself, it only brings fear. Imagine that when you use a knife to cut your flesh, blood splashes, but you don't feel anything. Will you feel happy? No, you will only feel fear, and even people with weak wills will have a mental breakdown. Xiao Wu's shaking became more and more intense, and soon, he roared, but Wang Feng did not take any action, just watched quietly from the side. At this time, no one could help him. A hurricane came at high speed, and with a crunch, it stopped beside Wang Feng. Zhang Xiu was the first to jump out of the car, shouting, "Xiao Wu! What's wrong with you?" Following the sound, Zhang Xiu rushed towards Xiao Wu, but was immediately stopped by Wang Feng. "Don't disturb Xiao Wu. I just gave him a potion, and he is now in the process of absorbing this potion. Stand aside and watch. If you have anything, wait until he finishes absorbing it." Su Mo also ran over at this time, hugged Zhang Xiu in his arms, patted her shoulders gently, and silently comforted Zhang Xiu. Lu Wanting and Chen Tianhao also came to Wang Feng's side. Lu Wanting gently hugged Wang Feng's arm with tears in her eyes. Seeing Xiao Wu's appearance, no explanation is needed. Everyone knows that he is suffering from great pain, but now no one has the ability to help him relieve or share it. This process lasted for nearly a quarter of an hour. Xiao Wu's body gradually stopped shaking, and his image has also changed a lot. Although his entire body was still blood red, the previously exposed bones had been wrapped up again. Xiao Wu now looked almost the same as a normal human, except for the difference in skin color. Ah! Xiao Wu looked down at his new body, then howled to the sky. This was no longer a roar, but a human voice. This voice contained too many meanings, including grief, relief, sadness, and joy and hope. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzhu. Chapter 503. No one present bothered Xiao Wu and allowed him to vent his emotions. Only Zhang Xiu and Lu Wanting had tears streaming down their faces when they looked at Xiao Wu. Even Chen Tianhao, a 7-foot-tall man. Both fists were clenched, the body was shaking, and tears were rolling down. Good guy. This zombie is really perverted. He has reached the level of a 6th-level creature. Tiankai has no feelings for Xiao Wu, so he only pays attention to the growth of his strength. At this time, I used my consciousness to communicate with Wang Fengtong in my heart. Level 6 creature? Is this kid so powerful? Wang Feng was also a little shocked. You know, even he is only at the peak of level 5 and has not yet entered the realm of level 6. I didn't expect Xiao Wu to be so powerful. But think about it, when Duan Lei and the others first met Xiao Wu in Haki City, Xiao Wu's strength was enough to overwhelm the mutated Corpse King, and safely bring everyone in the Hope Base out from the crowd of millions of corpses. Now, after getting a potion that is integrated with the core of life and a large amount of life origin, it is not an exaggeration to say that the strength will skyrocket. Well, this guy has unlimited potential. It is very likely that he will become the #1 master in your base besides the instructors and the 3rd primary school. He may even surpass them, Tiankai said leisurely. What? Surpass the instructor? Wang Feng was stunned. If Xiao could surpass himself, or even surpass the 3rd primary school, Wang Feng would not think it was too exaggerated. But surpassing the instructor's strength, this seems a bit unrealistic. Now Wang Feng already knows that the instructor is the prince among the devourers, second only to the brood, and even the brood guards have reached the level of 9th level creatures or above. How terrifying will the prince be? I'm afraid it has to reach at least the level of a 10th level creature, right? How could Xiao Wu surpass him? That's right. With this little guy, perhaps we will have greater confidence in fighting against the brood and even the mastermind behind it. His return may be the biggest turning point for you humans, Tian Kai said. Tell me the experience of this little guy in detail. Let me see what's special about it. Do you still remember what I said before? Are you humans a sealed race? Because if I'm not mistaken, this little guy, all the seals in the body have been released. What? Wang Feng was shocked. This news was really shocking to him. The instructor also said that even now, their strength is only 1/10 of their true strength. So, if they can, how far will it go if you unlock the seal and unleash your full strength? Will the Devourer's brood still be so scary? Xiao Wu's roar lasted for more than a minute before gradually stopping. Then, he looked at Wang Feng, who was looking at him with a strange expression, rushed forward, hugged Wang Feng tightly, and said, "Big brother. Thank you. Thank you." Wang Feng didn't have time to explain Xiao Wu's experience to Tianqi. He stretched out his hand, patted the choked and speechless Xiao Wu, and said softly, "Okay. As long as you recover, welcome back. But, I think you'd better put on some clothes." Xiao Wu now only has a pair of shorts that can barely cover his shame, and these shorts were modified from a pair of camouflage military pants. Since he turned into a zombie, Xiao Wu doesn't care about his image at all. The pants on his body have long been so broken that the trouser legs were nowhere to be found, only the waist and hips were left. From the apocalypse space, he took out his own camouflage combat uniform and put it in Xiao Wu's hands. Xiao Wu turned his head and looked at Lu Wanting and Zhang Xiu, then suddenly turned around and ran behind the hurricane to change clothes. This time Xiao Wu moved very quickly and came out in a short while. As soon as he appeared, Lu Wanting, Zhang Xiu and Chen Tianhao rushed towards him. The four of them hugged each other, crying and laughing. Looking at this scene, Wang Feng sighed secretly. He remembered that when he had just arrived at Lu Wanting's place and ate mutant beast meat together in the evening, there was no Xiao Wu at that time, but there were Chen Shaoan, Zhao Taihan, and others. But now, there are only these four people are left. Taking advantage of this time, Wang Feng had already told Tian Kai about Xiao's experience. After Tian Kai heard it, he did not speak. He was probably thinking about the occurrence of that link that caused the mysterious seal in Xiao to be released. Wang Feng didn't bother Tian Kai, he just stood aside and looked at the four people hugging each other. After making a fuss for a while, Xiao Wu suddenly got rid of the other three people and rushed over to Wang Feng and shouted, "Brother! Go save Qingxun and Qian. They are in danger." Xiao Wu. "Don't worry," Wang Feng said softly, "when I heard you came back, I knew that something happened to Qingxun and the others. Please tell me what happened first." Wang Feng had no intention of taking Xiao Wu back to the headquarters first, although the matter of Xiao Wu unlocking the seal was of great concern. If he could know this method, the crisis of mankind might no longer exist. But Wang Feng will not put Qingxun's danger aside just because of this incident. After all, he is a comrade who once fought side by side. At least Wang Feng must understand the situation first. "They are now captured by a group of zombie-eating monsters," Xiao Wu said. "We were three people wandering around together before, but later, after the heavy fog fell, we found that many mutant creatures appeared. The strength of insects, plants, and even the surviving humans began to increase. Although we have also improved our strength, there are only three of us. After being attacked by mutant insects, we think it is safer to find a large zombie group. So, We found a zombie tide with about hundreds of millions of zombies and hid in it. Since we are actually zombies, no zombies attacked us. We are finally safe there. Kyungsun can speak now, and he and Qian have reached the level of corpse wizards, which is only one level weaker than me, so no zombies dare to mess with us, but we don't want to control some zombie groups like other high-level zombies to serve as our subordinates, because in our hearts, we still regard ourselves as human beings. When Xiao Wu said this, Wang Feng wanted to ask what level of zombie a corpse wizard is, but thinking that Kyungsun and the others are in danger, he held back and didn't ask. Xiao Wu continued. After being there safely for a while, Kyungsun and Qian began to feel uncomfortable among the zombies, so they suggested to me whether we should come to the Hope Base, because Kyungsun said that no matter what we look like, the Hope Base will accept us. After all, we still have human consciousness. Wang Feng nodded gently. Kyungsun was right. If they came back, he would definitely not reject them. Even if they didn't want to live with normal survivors, Wang Feng would set aside an area for the three of them to live in. Just when we were about to leave, a group of people suddenly came. They rushed directly into the zombie group, and then stayed in the center of the zombie group for a while, and then all left. When they left, I also saw that some of them directly grabbed a few zombies, and then the zombies in their hands quickly dried up until they became a skeleton wrapped in shriveled skin. And the zombies around them were completely ineffective against them. Even the zombie king or the zombie wizard could not cause them any harm, so we also felt that something was not good, and we wanted to leave there even more and come to the Hope Base. But I don't know what those people put in the center of the zombie tide. They haven't left completely, and there was a strong life fluctuation in the center of the zombie tide. I was fine, and I was not affected by that kind of life fluctuation, but Kyungsun and Qian seemed to have changed into different people. They desperately squeezed towards the center of the zombie tide. Qian squeezed in and told me that this kind of life fluctuation inside had a fatal attraction to the zombies. They couldn't control their bodies to leave at all. I came back to ask for help from the base, and I hope you can go there and rescue them. Speaking of this, Xiao Wu looked at Wang Feng and said expectantly, "Big brother, can you go and rescue them?" Hearing this, Wang Feng breathed a sigh of relief, then patted Xiao Wu on the shoulder and said, "Of course, don't worry, I will definitely rescue them, and they are not in any real danger. Those guys who can suck zombies into skeletons are called devourers. What they threw in the center of the zombie tide is something called a life ball. They just use that thing to attract zombies. Before their follow-up troops arrive, Kyungsun and Qian will be fine. Of course. We won't wait until then to rescue them. Let's go. Come back with us first, we'll discuss it, and then set off as soon as possible to rescue them. There is the devourer you met there, and then let him tell you what you saw before." Hearing Wang Feng's words, Xiao Wu nodded. He knew that Wang Feng would not lie to him. At least, he felt that his strength had skyrocketed again, and he seemed to have infinite power. "Get in the car," Wang Feng waved his hand and led the way into the hurricane. He had come here in a hurry, so he ran here first. Now there was no need to go back. Everyone followed Wang Feng and got on the hurricane. Then the hurricane started and drove towards the direction of the Green Water Garden. Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzu. Chapter 504. After returning to the club, a group of core personnel still stayed there, and no one left. After all, the information just received was too shocking. Apocalypse, the Brood, and the mastermind behind the scenes, all of this seemed like a mountain, weighing heavily on them. Even Li Yingning stayed here uncharacteristically. Although he did not participate in the discussion and just sat there quietly, he at least showed his attitude. Not to mention the three miners. They have always been reluctant to appear in front of everyone. Now they are staying aside honestly. They are not like before. If Wang Fen doesn't call them, they won't show up at all. But now that I think about it, the skills of the three little ones are really terrifying. I didn't know their strength at first and just regarded them as ordinary awakeners. Now I know that even the brood guards can be attacked by the three little ones jointly. Also want to drink hatred, with such terrifying strength, coupled with their almost abnormal stealth skills. If they want to kill people, I am afraid that no one present except Li Yingning will be able to escape their assassination. Fortunately, they are allies now, so they don't have to worry about this matter. However, after all, they are not human beings, so when everyone looks at the third child, their eyes are not so natural. Wang Fen didn't care about this, because for him, the most important thing at the moment was to find out how Xiao Wu broke the seal in the body. This was the top priority. Once this method is really known, I hope that the strength of the base will explode, and the Devourer army will become the source of life energy for them. By that time, Wang Fen will not be in a hurry to kill the mother. Instead, the mother nest will continue to replenish the Devourer army, and they will have a steady supply of life energy. At that time, it was hard to imagine how high human strength, or the strength of the Hope base, would reach. It is estimated that even if it faces the mastermind behind the scenes, it will definitely be able to fight. Of course, all of this is based on the premise that Xiao Wu's method of breaking the seal can be unlocked. Otherwise, everything will be just a mirror image. Everyone should know Xiao Wu. Even if you don't know him, you should have heard of him. I won't introduce him in detail. Now, let me arrange the distribution of our combat troops in the future. Wang Fen looked at the people around him, and then said, from now on, our Guardian army will be divided into 4 brigades, with Lu Feng, Tang Haoshan, Gui Wevuo, and Meng Fei as captains. Luo Keiying, Su Mo, Chen Tianhao, and Li Tianxiang will be the captains. Vice captain, it's your choice how to match them. The killing 3 juniors, as well as the instructors, you are also organized into these 4 brigades. Your combat power is the highest. Therefore, your job is to be the guardians of the Legion. You are responsible for protecting their safety. You don't need to take action at ordinary times. When there is a crisis, you are responsible for protecting their lives and not allowing them to suffer too much damage. In addition, we will form a special operations team. I will be the team leader. Qiu Jian, Taxus, Xiao Wu, Apollo, Zhang Ruhao, and number 7 are team members. Come with me. The base is under the charge of General Duan Lei, assisted by Lu Qiang, Shen Yishan, Lu Wanting, Dai Guo, Huang Hua, Lin Li and others. The other personnel are selected first by the 4 brigades of the Guardian Legion. The rest are merged into the Hope Legion and are responsible for guarding the Hope base. All troops are temporarily resting and waiting for the Legion of Hope to awaken and reorganize. The Guardian Legion will still select warriors with suitable attributes first, and the rest will be included in the Legion of Hope. Specific personnel arrangements. You communicate among yourself. After the reorganization is completed, the 4 brigades of the Guardian Legion will be responsible for sweeping the area. Whether they are devourers or zombies, as long as they are discovered, they will be annihilated. As for the Special Operations Team, I will personally command it. The first goal is to rescue Kingsun and his wife. After that, we will move freely, with the main goals of collecting life energy and communicating with other human bases, and raiding the world. Liza. Continue to select suitable candidates at the Hope base. Every time I come back, I will select a group of personnel to distribute awakening potions and enhance the base's protective power. You must ensure the quality. Even if it is a little less, we cannot make up for it. What we need is someone who can advance and retreat with the Hope base, and who will not run away when in danger, like Hu Yahuan. We don't want anyone. Wang Fen told all his arrangements in one breath. Lu Feng, Tang Haoshan, Gui Weivong, and Meng Fei were all quite good in terms of strength and combat experience. They were more than enough to be captains. Moreover, among these 4 brigades, there were killing San Xiaoxiao and instructor Li Yingning respectively. Even if they encountered the Devourer commander, there would be no major casualties, so Wang Feng was basically at ease with them. As for the special operations team, it goes without saying that Xiao Wu must bring him with him if he wants to save Qingxuan. Qiu Jian's destructive attribute, even against the Devourer, is definitely one sword at a time. However, the premise is that Qiu Jian can know where the core of the Devourer's consciousness is. As for Tessie's, Wang Feng valued her abilities. This time, Wang Feng's purpose was to unite with other human bases and bring Tessie's with him. At least he could know whether the other party was worth winning over. As for Apollo, it's a bonus. Wang Feng thought that Zhang Ruhao's lock-picking skills would be useful outside, so he was also included. As for number 7, it goes without saying that as a devourer, it is absolutely a great weapon to scare people when encountering arrogant humans. And Wang Feng's plan this time is to do a thorough job. Anyway, with the protection of the instructors, the Guardian Corps does not need to worry too much. So this time, Wang Feng plans to directly sweep the world, completely integrate humans, and prepare for a decisive battle with the Devourers. Of course, before that, the most important thing is to upgrade all the soldiers of the Hope Corps to Awakeners. At the same time, we must carefully study the secrets of Xiao Wu. These 2 things, especially the latter, are the most important things for the Hope Base and even the entire human race. After talking about his own arrangements, Wang Feng looked at everyone and said, "Do you have any opinions about my arrangements? If you have any, it's best to raise them now." Everyone present looked at each other and shook their heads to indicate that they had no opinions. Even Li Yingning did not raise any objections. Wang Feng knew Li Yingning's temperament. Even though he knew that he was the prince of the Devourer, Wang Feng still treated him as his previous instructor. He knew that he was too lazy to lead the troops, so he did not let him serve as the captain. Okay, Wang Feng waited for almost 2 minutes, and seeing that no one still spoke, he nodded and said, "Since everyone has no objection, then let's do it for the time being. If there are any changes later, we will make temporary changes." Everyone nodded, and Duanlei said, "Madman. Hope the Legion has been assembled. When will the awakening begin? Bring the blood sample. I will start synthesizing the potion immediately," Wang Feng said without hesitation. As soon as Wang Feng finished speaking, Shen Yishan brought in 10 people and carried 10 large boxes. Wang Feng did not say anything and directly put all the boxes into the Apocalypse space. Apocalypse did not even need Wang Feng's instructions and started making awakening potions. Okay. The potion is being made. Now I'm going to tell you something more important. If we can solve this problem, it may be a huge turning point for our human race. Wang Feng looked at Duanlei and said, "Lazy eye. Ask someone to find Dr. Gu Changsheng. Maybe he can help with this matter." Duanlei nodded, then picked up the intercom and shouted, "Dr. Gu Changsheng, please come to the headquarters. There are important discoveries." After putting away the intercom, Duanlei looked at Wang Feng, who had a strange look in his eyes, shrugged his shoulders and said, "If I don't say that, the old monster will ignore us. He is a research madman. After getting in, he doesn't care about anything." Wang Feng nodded. In fact, he also knew that generally, such scientific research talents, as long as they are outstanding, almost all have some strange tempers. For this, Wang Feng would not care. Maybe it was really Duanlei's major discovery that worked. In less than 5 minutes, the sloppy Gu Changsheng ran in. Now Gu Changsheng has also become an awakener. This is what Duanlei asked Wang Feng to do. Even the genius of the Academy of Agricultural Sciences, Nongming, became an awakener at Duanlei's request. Duanlei has always valued this kind of scientific and technological talents. Including these two people, I hope that there will be at least nearly 100 people in the base who have become awakeners because of their outstanding performance in all aspects. This has also brought great motivation to other scientific researchers. After Gu Changsheng came in, he ignored everyone else, even the instructor, and shouted directly to Duan Lei, "Duan boy! What major discovery? Show me." Then, Gu Changsheng found Wang Feng, Xiao Wu beside him, and his eyes lit up immediately, shouting, "Oh my god! It's really a major discovery, what a special zombie, send it to my laboratory quickly, I want to dissect it immediately. Maybe I can find a way to convert human genes." Everyone present was confused. Dissecting Xiao Wu? This Gu Changsheng really didn't know how to live or die. Even if they had never seen Xiao Wu, they knew from other people that Xiao Wu had brought everyone in the Hope Base out of the hundreds of millions of zombies unscathed with his own strength. This Gu Changsheng actually wanted to dissect him. Gu Changsheng didn't pay attention to the expressions of others at all, and rushed straight to Xiao Wu, as if he was afraid that Xiao Wu would be snatched away by someone. Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzhu. Chapter 505. Wang Feng quickly stepped forward to stop Gu Changsheng and said, "Dr. Gu. This is not a zombie, he is our brother." "What?" Gu Changsheng paused suddenly, then looked past Wang Feng and fell on Xiao Wu, then frowned and said, "No, he looks like a zombie." "Dr. Gu," Wang Feng explained, "he did have a little accident, which caused his appearance to be a little different from that of a normal person, but he is indeed a member of our Hope Base." Wang Feng didn't know how to explain Xiao Wu's identity. "It's not appropriate to say that he is a human being." "It's not appropriate to say that he is not a human being?" Wang Feng couldn't say it, but at least one thing is certain, Xiao Wu is definitely a member of the Hope Base now. "So what is the major discovery you are talking about?" Gu Changsheng looked around and then said, "I don't see any other zombies here." From Gu Changsheng's tone, we know that he still regards Xiao Wu as a zombie. Fortunately, Xiao Wu doesn't care. His current image is much better than before. Xiao Wu doesn't expect himself to recover his previous appearance. His hope is very simple. As long as he can live with Wang Feng, Lu Wanting, Zhang Xiu and Chen Tianhao, that's enough. Of course, Qian Xuan and Qian Qian must be rescued. During this period, the three of them have been together. It can be said that in Xiao Wu's heart, Qian Xuan and Qian Qian are no less important than Wang Feng and Lu Wanting. Dr. Gu. What I want to ask is, in addition to zombies, have you studied the human body? Wang Feng looked at Gu Changsheng and asked. Human body? I'm not a doctor. Why do I study the human body? Gu Changsheng said in astonishment. Dr. Gu, I suggest you do some research. As far as I know, the potential of our human body is huge, but it is sealed because of some mysterious power and cannot be fully exerted. Wang Feng looked at Gu Changsheng and said seriously. Huh, Gu Changsheng frowned and thought about it when he heard Wang Feng's words, and then suddenly said in surprise, I have heard your statement before, let me think, that's right. It was proposed by a human genetics expert named Chris in an academic exchange meeting. He is also a doctor, but he was not taken seriously at the time. If you hadn't mentioned it, I wouldn't have remembered it. Chris? Where is he? Wang Feng was very excited when he heard it, and asked hurriedly. This is hard to say. I only know that he is from Zizhu and should live in Khitan City. However, it has been so long since the end of the world, and I don't know if he is still alive, Gu Changsheng said hesitantly. After hearing Gu Changsheng's contemptuous words, Wang Feng was silent. Their planet was divided into 4 continents, one each in the east, south, west and north, and they were all blocked by the ocean. Their current location was in the east continent. If they wanted to cross the ocean to find Dr. Chris, not to mention how to pass through the dangerous ocean. Even whether Dr. Chris was still alive was a big problem. No matter. Time is tight now. If we start from the beginning, it will definitely be too late. We must find Dr. Chris. Wang Feng raised his head and said firmly, after the awakening potion is manufactured, our special operations team will set off immediately. After that, Lazy Eye, Lao Lu, and the big guy will take care of the things here. Wang Feng had already collected the blood samples of the Hope Warriors waiting to awaken into Apocalypse. Apocalypse is now desperately manufacturing awakening potions, but because the quantity is too large, it has not been fully completed yet. Crazy. What's the matter? Why do you value this Chris so much? Duan Lei frowned and asked with some doubts, because the communication between Tian Kai and Wang Feng was based on ideology, which others could not detect at all. I think, if we find that Chris, we may have a way to unlock the seal in our human body. Wang Feng took a deep breath and said. What? Everyone was shocked, and even Li Yingning stood up. Among the people present, perhaps only Li Yingning truly understood how terrifying the power contained in the human body was. Now, Wang Feng actually said that he had a way to unlock the seal in the human body. I'm not sure yet, so I won't tell you first. Anyway, we have to save Qingxun and the others, so we will set off first. After saving Qingxun, we will directly find a way to go to Zizhu. I'll leave the things here to you first. Wang Feng did not explain in detail. Because the information sent by Tian Kai just now was a bit disappointing to him. After Tian Kai analyzed Xiao's experience in detail, he had no way to determine what the key to Xiao's unlocking of the seal was. It could be the mutant potion, or it could be due to the death of his twin brother, or it could be the fusion of the life core and the mutant potion, etc. There are too many reasons, and Wang Feng cannot test all of these possibilities. So, when he heard Gu Changsheng say that someone had this conjecture before the end of the world, he was so excited and decided to find the human genetics expert mentioned by Gu Changsheng at all costs. Chris. Okay. Then you will set off in a while. Don't worry about the base. I originally wanted to leave the Devourer Commander for you to train. In this case, I will go out and kill him in a while, Li Yingning said to Wang Feng. As long as Wang Feng can really find a way to solve the seal problem, Li Yingning will really have peace of mind. He believes that as long as humans can unlock the seal and unleash their full terrifying potential, let alone the Devourer's brood, even if the man behind the scenes comes, it will be of no avail. No need. Instructor, Lu Feng said instead, let us practice our skills. If we are really in trouble, it's not too late for you to take action. After all, the madman is not guaranteed to succeed, so our own strength must also be strengthened. Anyway, after the madman left, our 4 brigades split up and acted separately. After the reorganization, it is estimated that except for the Devourer Commander, there should be no enemies who can cause too much damage to us. As for a small number of casualties, we can still afford it. Know how to improve your combat power after experiencing life and death. Lu Feng's words resonated with Tang Haoshan, Gui Weivang, and others. Yes, the real iron-blooded soldiers must have experienced the real test of blood and fire, those who have truly set foot on the battlefield and survived a narrow escape. No matter how well you train, it is of no use if you have never been on the battlefield or killed anyone. Okay. I won't participate in this. You decide for yourself. Wang Feng nodded and said, then turned to Tessis and said, Tessis, you and Apollo go find a hurricane and be ready to go at any time. Tessis agreed, then turned around and led Apollo out of the club. Wang Feng incorporated Tessis into the special operations team because he took a fancy to her abilities and had no intention of letting her appear as a combatant. Apollo, this is even more true, so from now on, the two of them should be the pilots of hurricanes. Of course, Zhang Ruhao does not count. He was selected because of his lock-picking skills and that weird power. Before getting that power, Zhang Ruhao claimed that give him a pack of instant noodles, and he can open any one in the world lock. Now that he has that weird power, this guy doesn't even use instant noodles at all. Of course, it is quite difficult to find a pack of instant noodles now. The main combat force of the Special Operations Team is composed of Wei Yangfeng, Qiu Jian, Xiao Wu, and Number 7. Needless to say, Qiu Jian is basically the same as Wei Yangfeng, except that he does not have a sky eye, but he follows Wei Yangfeng in at the same time. He doesn't have to worry about finding the Devourer's weakness. The only difference is that Wei Yangfeng directly absorbs the Devourer's core of consciousness. Qiu Jian, on the other hand, directly turns the Devourer's core of consciousness into nothingness and completely destroys it. Therefore, in terms of killing speed, Qiu Jian is even faster than Wei Yangfeng. Although Number 7 is not as high as Li Yingning, after devouring the commander-level Devourer consciousness core, Number 7 is infinitely close to the commander level. At least before the Devourer brood arrives, he should be able to walk sideways. Needless to say, Xiao Wu, as the first human being to unlock the seal, has the greatest potential in the entire Hope base. It can be said that the combination of these 4 people is more powerful than the combination of the instructor plus 3 small ones. Not to mention more concessions. Seeing that Wei Yangfeng had made a decision, Du Enlai and others no longer objected, but Lu Wanting was a little reluctant to let Wei Yangfeng leave again. Every time Wei Yangfeng came back, he would not stay long before leaving, and every time they parted, for them, it may be the last time they meet in this life. But Lu Wanting didn't say anything to stop her. She knew that the hope of all mankind now lies in Wei Yangfeng. Lu Wanting felt quite proud of her lover, so she couldn't be a stumbling block for him. This man was destined not to be able to just belongs to her alone. Okay, Tiankai's voice finally sounded. Wei Yangfeng was overjoyed. He immediately took out all the awakening potions that had been repacked in Tiankai's space, placed them in front of him, and then said, "Okay. This is the awakening potion for all the Legion of Hope soldiers. Distribute it immediately. Pay attention to the number and make sure there is no mistake. Don't worry. It's not the first time," Shen Yishan said with a smile, and then asked people to carry out all the awakening potions and distribute them to those hope warriors who couldn't wait. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzhu. Chapter 506. I want to leave. Wei Yangfeng looked at Lu Wanting and said a little guiltily. Well, I'm waiting for you. Lu Wanting stepped forward to hug Wei Yangfeng, kissed him gently, and then said with a smile. Looking at the beauty in his arms, Wei Yangfeng also smiled softly. Lu Wanting didn't say much, she just said I'll wait for you, but these 3 words are enough for Wei Yangfeng. People who truly love each other don't need he talks about each other's vows all day long. Liza. We are leaving now. If any of the survivors in the base can exchange points for awakening potions, record them first and leave blood samples for me to deal with when I come back. Wei Yangfeng suddenly remembered something. As I said before, the awakening potion will also be added to the points system, but the awakening potion requires a blood sample to be collected, so I can't keep it in advance, so I can only do this first. I understand. Feel free to go, Du Enlai nodded. No. Wait a minute, Gu Changsheng stood there with a confused look on his face. Didn't you say there was an important discovery? Where is it? Dr. Gu. Just ask Xiao Lei for this. I don't know much about it. Upon hearing this, Wei Yangfeng couldn't care less about being affectionate with Lu Wanting anymore. After saying something quickly, he shouted, Special Operations Team. Let's go. Then, Wei Yangfeng kissed Lu Wanting again, and then ran out quickly. As soon as the captain Wei Yangfeng spoke, Number 7, Qiu Jian and Zhang Ruhao hurriedly followed. Xiao Wu might have been a little reluctant to leave just after seeing Lu Wanting and others, so he still stood there and hesitated. Xiao Wu, why don't you follow? Do you want to stay here and be dissected? Zhang Xiu said with a smile. Xiao Wu was shocked. After taking a look at Gu Changsheng, he fled out of the club like flying and chased Wang Feng and others. That's Xiao Lei. Hurry up and show me your important discovery. You can't afford to waste my time, Gu Changsheng pointed at Duan Lei and said. Oh. By the way. Old Lu. Didn't you say it was serious? When Duan Lei heard this, he quickly wanted to throw the blame on Lu Feng. Who knew that when Lu Feng heard Duan Lei mention his without saying a word, he turned around and made an invincible impact. He actually activated his own power and ran out. Duan Lei's face suddenly darkened, and then he looked at Gui Wuivong. My stomach hurts so much. I have to pull Xiang, Gui Wuivong was shocked. He covered his stomach and also activated his superpower and ran out. When he saw Gui Wuivong running out, in the club all the core staff were in a panic. Those with acceleration powers used their powers, and those without acceleration powers ran as fast as they could. It was as if the brood suddenly appeared in the club. In the blink of an eye, they were all gone. Duan Lei turned and looked around and found that in the huge club, except for a few staff members who had jobs and could not leave, there were only Li Yingning, Shen Yishan and Gu Changsheng, and he couldn't help but sigh. It seems that he can only take the blame for himself. Li Yingning and Duan Lei will never dare to let him take the blame for him. As for Shen Yishan, he cannot afford to offend her. If he throws the blame on her, then I'm miserable, either I can't get into bed tonight, or I can't get out of bed tomorrow. Duan Lei looked at Gu Changsheng again and said with a wry smile, hey, huh. When Duan Lei saw a corner of the club, his eyes suddenly lit up, and he quickly rushed over, then immediately returned to where he was, with a cockroach in his hand that was half the size of a palm. Dr. Gu, we have discovered a new type of zombie. This is it. It can actually turn into the image of a cockroach. I think you should study it carefully. Looking at Gu Changsheng, Duan Lei carefully handed the cockroach in his hand to Gu Changsheng. Of course, this cockroach had already been electrocuted to death with the lightning power at the moment it was caught by Duan Lei. Gu Changsheng took the cockroach with a puzzled look on his face, looked at it carefully, and then asked, really? Yeah. It must be true, that's why I called you here in such a hurry. Duan Lei looked serious. Gu Changsheng was frightened by Duan Lei's expression for a moment, and he happily left with the cockroach. Not long after, an angry roar came from Gu Changsheng's laboratory. Duan Lei. You what a bastard! This is a cockroach. Brother Feng. You don't have to feel guilty. I don't blame you for this. Amid the hurricane of Mercedes-Benz, Xiao Wu was persuading Wang Feng. Because of Wang Feng's suggestion, Xiao Wu now followed Chen Shaoan and called him Brother Wang Feng. Just now, Wang Feng told Xiao Wu everything that happened around him after Xiao Wu left. Even Chen Shaoan's death was not concealed at all. Sister Shen and the captain have told me about Xiaoan's death before. Although I couldn't speak at that time, I could understand it, Xiao said sadly. Although I really hope that Xiaoan can appear in front of me. He died to save the captain, and his death was not unjust. If it were me, I would do the same. Looking at the direction of the vehicle in front, Xiao Wu sighed. If it weren't for Captain, we might have died before we met you. And without you, I wouldn't be alive now. Although it looks a bit scary, at least I'm still alive. We owe you so much. More, if we can die for helping you, we can repay a little of your kindness to us. Hearing Xiao Wu's words, everyone in the car was moved. The fact that a ferocious-looking man could say such words made them feel a little ashamed. Brother Feng. There seem to be zombies ahead, should we kill them? Taxa suddenly said, our team has just been established, do we need to contact for cooperation? Wang Feng looked outside the car, then shook his head. It's just a few 100,000 zombies, not enough for us to contact for cooperation. Xiao Wu can kill them all by himself. Forget it, save time, leave it to the guards behind. Understood, Texas nodded in agreement, and then continued to drive the car. Wang Feng's words did not make the people in the car feel arrogant. Even Apollo, who was the weakest, knew in his heart that this number of zombies did not pose any threat to their team. However, after saying this, Wang Feng suddenly felt a little dazed. Once upon a time, a tide of 100,000 zombies was an irresistible existence in their eyes. He still remembers that after killing the tide of 100,000 zombies led by the mutant zombie, the soldiers cheered excitedly and roared to vent. Now, the zombies whose strength far exceeds that of the zombie tide by several times or even dozens of times are no longer taken seriously by him. Although they have experienced countless twists and turns and difficulties since the establishment of the Hope Base, their strength has grown to a level that they could not imagine before. Back then, an evolver could basically become the main combat force of the Hope Base, but now, as long as Wang Feng wants, all the survivors of the entire Hope Base can become evolvers, which is a leap in strength. Enemy. It is a creature that can make oneself stronger. Wang Feng heard the sentence again, and couldn't help but sigh in his heart. The appearance of the Devourer and the existence of the mastermind behind the scenes, although it is a heavy pressure for them, it also makes them embark on a powerful road that cannot be turned back. If there was no mastermind behind the scenes, perhaps they would never have thought that their race was actually sealed by a mysterious force. Now, regardless of whether the seal can be finally unlocked and whether the human heritage can continue, at least, they have embarked on this hopeful road. Wang Feng smiled, and then he climbed directly onto the roof of Hurricane. Qiu Jian, Xiao Wu, and Number 7 also followed him up, leaving only Texas and Apollo in the car, and Zhang Ruhao, the special light bulb. However, Zhang Ruhao did not feel this way at all. Instead, he looked at the inside of Hurricane with great interest, studying the system of Hurricane to see if he could invade it. Zhang Ruhao? Your ability is to make any soft material hard, right? Apollo looked at Zhang Ruhao with a rather unfriendly expression. However, Zhang Ruhao did not look at Apollo. He was still studying the operating system of Hurricane, and answered casually, yes. Actually, I can do this, but, I can only target specific objects, and if you are here, it is a bit inconvenient for me to use my superpowers. Apollo couldn't help but amplify his voice. Puff, Wang Feng's laughter came from the roof of the car. Obviously, Apollo's voice has reached the roof of the car. Ah! What does your superpower have to do with me being here? Zhang Ruhao looked at Apollo with a puzzled look on his face. Just use it, I can just take a look, and maybe I can give you some guidance. Don't you have a wife? Apollo finally got angry and roared. Ah! Zhang Ruhao finally reacted. The superpower Apollo said is an instinct that almost all men have. It's dangerous for you to drive like this, otherwise, I will drive and you go to the back. Just keep your voice down, Zhang Ruhao said with some worry. Apollo. You better be quiet. I'm not interested now. Do you believe I'll roast a bird for everyone later? Tysus snorted coldly. Put more spiciness in my portion. Wang Feng's words came from above, making Apollo's face stiff. Ha 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 ha, Zhang Ruhao couldn't help laughing. I'll fight you. Apollo jumped at Zhang Ruhao. Stop the car. At this moment, Wang Feng's voice suddenly sounded again. Aren't you going to practice cooperation? Now the opportunity is here, get ready for battle. Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzhu. Chapter 507. This is a medium-sized city. Wang Feng does not know the name of the city. Although there is a map in the Hurricane, it is meaningless to know the name of the city now. As long as they know that there are anything will do. Zombies. This city is full of zombies. Seeing the number of zombies in front of him, Wang Feng sighed inwardly. Although the Devourers are a race without technology, some of the things they condensed with life energy are similar to the technologies of some advanced civilizations are no less impressive. At least, their spaceships, flares, life balls and other items have far surpassed human technological civilization. The city in front of them is a powerful proof. It is just a medium-sized city, but now there are hundreds of millions of zombies gathered. Moreover, Wang Feng also found a large number of high-level zombies in it. Not only are there many alienated zombies and alienated zombie kings, there are even several alienated zombies from before. A type of zombie that Wang Feng had never seen before. Especially the huge zombie in the middle, its eyes were looking attentively. It was obvious at a glance that it was a higher-level zombie. Even Xiao Wu, who was watching with a telescope, couldn't help but shout, "White!" Xiao Wu, Wang Feng finally couldn't help but ask, "You said before that Qingxun and Qian reached the level of corpse witch. What level of zombie is this corpse witch?" "Well, this is our name for the zombies after the mutated zombie king," Xiao Wu explained. The zombies next to the zombie in the middle are zombies that are more advanced than the alienized corpse king. We call them corpse witches. The one in the middle is the corpse demon. Moreover, we have seen even more advanced zombies than it. Zombies that are one level higher than others are called zombie generals. Oh. So that's it? Okay. Then, let's see what this corpse monster is capable of, Wang Feng said lightly, and then looked at number 7, number 7. Isn't that right? What kind of life ball of yours does it stimulate the evolution of zombies? Why do I find that the strength of zombies is improving very quickly? This is not directly related to the life ball, number 7 shook his head and said, the main reason is that after being infected by our virus and mutating into zombies, this phenomenon will occur when a large number of such creatures gather together, and there may even be some level 9 or even level 10 zombies. Holy crap! It seems that not only the Devourers, but also the zombies, we have to start cleaning them up. Wang Feng's expression was a little solemn. It seems that the evolution speed of zombies is still faster than that of humans. If they are allowed to develop, is likely to become another threat to mankind. But in the long run, this may not be a bad thing. After all, there is still nearly a year between now and the arrival of the Devourer's brood. The higher the level of the zombies, the more life energy they can provide. That is to say, during this year, his apocalypse points have been settled. Taxis, Apollo, and Zhang Ruhao, the three of you stay. Wang Feng looked at the tide of corpses in front of him and said, Qiu Jian, number 7, Xiao Wu and me, the four of us are going up. Remember, don't worry about the low-level zombies. Our target is the high-level zombies above the alienated zombies. Let Lao Lu and the others clean up the rest. Now the Hope Base has found a way to retain the strengthening liquid in the brains of zombies for a long time. Therefore, Wang Feng and the others do not need to kill all the zombies. Moreover, with so many zombies, no matter how powerful they are, they will still be unable to kill them. A lot of time needs to be wasted, and time is exactly what they need most now. Before preparing to rush into the zombie wave, Wang Feng looked at Qiu Jian again. Although this guy had returned to Hope Base again, he was still taciturn and didn't like to talk much. Apocalypse. Is there any way for Qiu Jian to absorb the life energy from the zombies while killing them? Wang Feng asked softly. Now among the four of them, only Qiu Jian seems to be unable to absorb the life energy of the zombies. In other words, Qiu Jian cannot quickly improve his strength during the battle. Needless to say, number 7, as a devourer, his fighting process is actually when he eats, while Xiao Wu is between humans and zombies. When killing zombies, he can also absorb zombies. The life energy can strengthen oneself. If one has apocalypse, he can of course get the maximum benefit from the battle. It should be possible. But it needs some life core, Apocalypse replied. Okay, Wang Feng didn't hesitate at all. Qiu Jian's destructive attributes are not inferior even to the Devourer, and are even more efficient than his own. If he trains him, he will definitely become his greatest strength in the future. Help, this investment will definitely not lose money. In less than a minute, a potion appeared in Wang Feng's hand. It was a potion synthesized by Tiankai's fusion of the core of life and the core of consciousness of some devourers, plus the origin of life. Wang Feng did not look carefully, but he casually threw the potion to Qiu Jiandao. Qiu Jian, drink this. Qiu Jian took the potion and opened it directly. Then he raised his head and drank all the potion without any hesitation. Wang Feng nodded secretly in his heart. No matter what, it is a joy to gain the trust of others. Matter. Apocalypse. How long will this process take? Seeing Qiu Jian sitting cross-legged after drinking the potion, and frowning slightly, as if he was a little uncomfortable, Wang Feng knew that Qiu Jian might have to undergo a transformation process after drinking this potion. About 10 minutes, Apocalypse's answer reassured Wang Feng. If it was only 10 minutes, he could wait. If it was longer, Qiu Jian might have to experience his changes in the next battle. At this time, some zombies at the outermost edge of the corpse tide had discovered Wang Feng and his group, but these zombies did not turn around to attack them. It seemed that their temptation was far less than the breath of life energy emitted by the life ball. Wang Feng had already asked number 7 that the life ball only emitted a very strong breath of life, but in fact, the life energy contained was quite scarce, so he did not plan to take the life ball away. At least, attracting these zombies here is also a good thing for humans. It will be much easier for the people in the Hope Base to clean up these zombies. 10 minutes later, Qiu Jian opened his eyes, then stood up and looked at Wang Feng, but he did not say thank you. What he owed Wang Feng was not something that could be repaid with a thank you. How is it? Can we fight? Wang Feng asked. Seeing Qiu Jian nod, Wang Feng looked at Xiao Wu and number 7 again, and then said, okay. Let's get started. Then, Wang Feng moved his body and rushed into the zombie group. The 4 did not start killing at the periphery, because Wang Feng said that the high-level zombies above the alienated zombies were their targets. Although even the most enhanced zombies at the periphery could provide some life energy to Wang Feng's apocalypse, after absorbing the Devourer spaceship, the wealthy Wang Feng no longer cared about this small money. 4 figures, like 4 sharp arrows, rushed towards the center of the zombie tide. In less than a minute, they approached the center of the zombie tide. When the alienated zombies appeared in front of them, the 4 people started to act at the same time, announcing the beginning of the killing. No. Didn't they say they wanted to practice cooperation? Why didn't I see it at all? Apollo, who was watching the 4 people fighting with a telescope on the roof of the Hurricane, said, these 4 guys are 20 to 30 meters away from each other. How can they cooperate so well? It's enough to kill zombies, no matter what cooperation or not, Zhang Ruhao said, maybe the zombies here are not at the level that they can cooperate with. Alas! We are both awakened, why is Qiu Jian so fierce, and we are so bad? Apollo said a little depressed. It can't be said to be bad. It can only be said that our evolutionary directions are different, Zhang Ruhao said, take us with you. I think Brother Feng mainly wants to use my unlocking ability and Taishi's psychic ability. As for you. Apollo looked at Zhang Ruhao with some expectation on his face. You should be considered a gift from Taisis, right? Zhang Ruhao laughed. Apollo was furious, but he couldn't refute it, because he had already understood what Zhang Ruhao said. After taking a deep breath, Apollo looked at the 4 people who were like tigers in a flock of sheep in the tide of corpses. He secretly decided in his heart that when Wang Feng came back, he must ask Wang Feng to fight. After all, he was also an awakener and definitely not a waste. Wang Feng and the other 4 people quickly killed 4 bloody paths in the group of corpses. Apollo was right. Wang Feng said at first that he wanted to practice cooperation, but after rushing into the tide of corpses, Wang Feng automatically ignored this initial idea. Because Wang Feng had been fighting alone all along, and he had no sense of teamwork at all. Xiao Wu and Qiu Jian were of course the same, not to mention number 7. So these 4 people were used to fighting alone, and no one thought about practicing any cooperation. In their minds, as long as they could kill the zombies, why worry so much? At this time, the corpse demon in the middle had already discovered the 4 uninvited guests, Wang Feng and his group. A fierce light flashed in its eyes, and it pointed at the 4 people and said in a low voice, "Humans, kill." Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzhu. Chapter 508. Wang Feng was a little surprised. This zombie could actually speak. However, the speed of this corpse demon's speech was very slow, and the voice was not very standard. It seemed that it should not have retained human consciousness like Xiao Wu, but after becoming a zombie, it evolved consciousness autonomously because of the improvement of its level. Therefore, even if it can speak, this zombie is still a zombie, and there is no need to worry about killing it. If there are zombies like Xiao Wu or Qingxun who retain their human consciousness, it will make Wang Feng feel troubled. Fortunately, in addition to Qingxun, Qian and Xiao Wu, Wang Feng has not encountered the 4th such zombie. At this time, among the zombies in front of the 4 people, there have been high-level zombies such as the alien Corpse King. Thinking of the previous time Wang Feng and his team killed an alien Corpse King, they were in danger, and Lu Feng was almost cut in half by the Corpse King. And now, the 4 of them are still in the tide of zombies, and they are still tigers among sheep. Even the alien Corpse King can't survive a few times in front of them. Especially Xiao Wu and number 7. Number 7 is a devourer, whose body is made of life energy, while Xiao Wu is basically a zombie. These 2 guys have no worries about running out of energy, so they always go all out and are quite fierce. The zombies that died in Xiao Wu's hands were all scratched by his head and died after absorbing all the strengthening liquid, while behind number 7, there were a lot of skinny mummies left. These zombies were all killed by number 7 who sucked out their life energy. Due to his special body structure, number 7 is not afraid of zombies at all, because zombies have no way to destroy his body. As for Xiao Wu, his zombie level is far higher than that of the alienated zombie king, the same as that of the zombie demon, so those zombies dare not put their claws to Xiao Wu. Therefore, these 2 people are the safest among the 4. Only Qiu Jian and Wang Feng are the main targets of the zombies' concentrated fire. However, even if Wang Feng did not launch the hurricane, with his peak speed of level 5, he was not easily injured by these zombies. In addition, he had his own almost abnormal self-healing ability, so he was quite safe in the zombie tide. As for Qiu Jian, he was the lowest among the 4 people, but because he had a very rare destructive ability, and he had just used a potion specially made for him by Apocalypse, he now had a devouring ability similar to that of number 7. Qiu Jian's long sword kept stabbing out, and all the targets were the heads of zombies. The enemy now was zombies, not devourers. The fatal points were all in the head, and every zombie, when stabbed in the head by Qiu Jian, their heads would explode directly and die instantly. After using the potion, these exploded heads were not completely destroyed. The purest life energy in them would be fed back to Qiu Jian's body through the long sword, enhancing his strength, making Qiu Jian's strength slowly move towards the level 5 creature. Of course, because Qiu Jian's physique was changed by the potion, his devouring ability is not enough to compare with number 7 and Wang Feng, who can absorb all the life energy in the zombies. Qiu Jian can only absorb the purest part of it, which will waste about 2/3, but fortunately the number of zombies is enough to make up for this defect. Unfortunately, Wang Feng asked Tiankai that only Qiu Jian's physique with destructive attributes can be transformed by potions to obtain this devouring ability, and awakeners of other attributes cannot get such an opportunity. In other words, a strong man like Qiu Jian cannot be replicated in large quantities, and Wang Feng does not have so many life cores to make too many potions. After the corpse demon spoke, the dozen corpse wizards around it also rushed towards the 4 people under its command, but it seemed that the corpse demon saw the strength of the 4 people, so the targets of those corpse wizards were only 2 people, Qiu Jian and Wang Feng. Both of them already had some scars on their bodies. After all, they were surrounded by zombies. No matter how careful they would inevitably get hurt. Fortunately, Wang Feng and Qiu Jian had rich combat experience, so they didn't suffer any serious injuries. They were basically flesh wounds, which did not affect their combat effectiveness. And even Qiu Jian, because he now had a life core in his body, even if it was a small amount, he also had the ability to heal himself. Although it was not as abnormal as Wang Feng's, it at least greatly increased his ability to survive. Now seeing those corpse witches rushing towards him, Qiu Jian instead had a stronger fighting spirit. When he killed the first alienated zombie, he knew the benefits of the potion he had just drunk. He naturally understood that the more he killed, the faster his strength would increase. Therefore, the arrival of these corpse witches made Qiu Jian feel a little bit of expectation. If all these corpse witches were killed, would their life energy be able to reach the level of a level 5 creature that he could reach in one breath? Qiu Jian wanted to know now. Brother Feng, give me the biggest one. Xiao Wu saw that no corpse wizard came to fight him, so he rushed directly to the corpse demon and shouted at the same time. No problem, Wang Feng nodded. Although this corpse demon would definitely bring Wang Feng a lot of apocalypse points, Wang Feng didn't need it that much. On the contrary, this corpse demon would be of greater benefit to Xiao Wu. The level of the corpse demon is high, and the level of life energy in its body is naturally high. But for apocalypse, no matter how high the life energy is, it is just apocalypse points. The only difference is the quantity. If Xiao Wu wants to improve his level again, the higher the level of life energy, the better the effect will be. And in this zombie wave, the level of the zombie demon is the highest, and Xiao Wu will certainly not let it go. Number 7 does not want to compete with Xiao Wu. His promotion requires the core of Devourer's consciousness, and he still needs a Devourer with a higher level than him. On this planet, only the Devourer commander can meet this requirement. As for the zombies in front of him, there is not much difference between killing an enhanced zombie and killing a zombie demon. For number 7, they are both eating anyway, so as long as they are full. There were about 7 or 8 corpse witches rushing toward Wang Feng. When Wang Feng saw the corpse witches coming, he activated the blast without saying a word. Then, he broke into the group of corpse witches and activated his ice powers at the same time. Own massacre. Wang Feng is not alone now, so there is no need to conserve his energy all the time. Time is what they lack most now. There are countless zombies on the entire planet waiting for them to sweep. Every time they sweep one more place, it means that there will be dozens or even hundreds of more awakened people in the base, so Wang Feng doesn't want to waste too much time here. Qiu Jian also started fighting the corpse witch. However, Qiu Jian's destructive power was not active, so he had no power to activate. However, Qiu Jian had a ruthless energy. His killing is very simple, just exchange injury for injury. The moment he came into contact with the corpse witches, Qiu Jian directly shot the 2 corpse witches in the head, but at the same time, there were also a few streaks of blood on his body, but Qiu Jian didn't care at all, and didn't even hum. With a sound, the long sword in his hand spun around and once again killed a corpse witch under the sword. There were more corpse witches surrounding Qiu Jian than Wang Feng's side. There were 12 or 13. Probably the corpse demon saw that Qiu Jian was the weakest among the 4, so it attacked him. Focus on taking care of him and want to get rid of him first. When Wang Feng saw this situation, he rushed towards Qiu Jian, wanting to help him. Unexpectedly, when Qiu Jian saw Wang Feng rushing towards him, he suddenly shouted, "No need to help, I can do it myself." Done. Wang Feng hesitated for a moment, and finally decided to respect Qiu Jian's choice. One was that he knew that Qiu Jian now also has a life core in his body. Therefore, although he has not yet entered the realm of a 5th level creature, even if he is missing an arm or a leg, even with limb injuries, Qiu Jian can slowly recover. The other, of course, is that Wang Feng also hopes that Qiu Jian can break through during the battle. After all, Wang Feng himself only broke through to the realm of 5th level creatures when he was in a desperate situation in battle, so of course he knows that he must break through. Perhaps only under tremendous pressure can a smooth breakthrough be achieved. Moreover, now he has only killed 2 corpse witches, which is a bit slower than Qiu Jian's efficiency. Although he has suffered far fewer injuries than Qiu Jian, in Wang Feng's opinion, this is not the reason. So Wang Feng stopped paying attention to Qiu Jian and began to focus all his attention on the corpse witches and alienated corpse kings around him, and stopped caring about other people. Xiao Wu has now faced off against the corpse demon. Since Xiao Wu is also a zombie at the corpse demon level, there are no other zombies participating in their battle. Number 7 is the easiest among the 4, because although he can swallow the energy of zombies, it cannot improve his own strength. Therefore, the task given to him by Wang Feng is to eat after he is full. Try to kill as few high-level zombies as possible to avoid wasting too much life energy. His main task is to assist others in attacking. Qiu Jian just refused Wang Feng's help. Now number 7 will naturally not ask for trouble. As for Xiao Wu, he is having a one-on-one fight with the corpse demon. In a one-on-one challenge, if you step forward, you can only make the corpse demon summon other zombies to contain you, so it won't have much effect. Now number 7 was the only one with Wang Feng who could go over to help, so number 7 dodged the zombie attacks while rushing towards Wang Feng. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzhu. Chapter 509. At this time, Wang Feng had killed several corpse wizards around him. Unlike the Devourer needed Wang Feng to absorb all of his consciousness core to be considered killed. Only then could his body be collected into the apocalypse space. Dealing with zombies was relatively easy. As long as apocalypse hit the zombie's head, the zombie's body could be directly collected into the apocalypse space, which was much faster than fighting the Devourer. Now, in the apocalypse space, the space energy from the Devourer spaceship has not been completely absorbed by Apocalypse, but the space inside Apocalypse has become much larger, so Wang Feng didn't mind collecting all the zombies' bodies. After all, the zombies' bodies are also useful. When number 7 arrived at Wang Feng's side, there were only 2 corpse wizards around Wang Feng, and the rest were all alienated zombies and alienated zombie kings. Wang Feng also accepted all these zombies. Anyway, for him, these were just some apocalypse points. The battle on Qiu Jian's side was also coming to an end. Of course, this end only refers to the battle with the corpse witch. Qiu Jian was also surrounded by a large group of alienated corpse kings and alienated zombies. Qiu Jian was already covered in blood at this time. Although his killing speed was very fast, his method was also very tragic. There were dozens of wounds of all sizes on his body, and his physical strength was also consumed. This could be felt from his heavy breathing. Wang Feng was of course also concerned about Qiu Jian, but he did not go to help Qiu Jian immediately. He was just observing him carefully. If Qiu Jian was in danger of life, Wang Feng only needed to launch a gust of wind, and he should be able to save Qiu Jian in time. So for the time being, let Qiu Jian continue to rely on his own abilities. Only the tempering of life and death can quickly improve his strength. In comparison, Xiao Wu's battle with the corpse demon was even more powerful. The strength of both sides was almost the same, and both adopted a head-on fighting method. However, Xiao Wu also had a life core in his body, so in the battle with the corpse demon, Xiao Wu still had the upper hand. The corpse demon was very large, nearly 3 meters long, and although Xiao Wu was also a zombie of the corpse demon level, his body size did not grow, and he still looked like a normal person. In this regard, Xiao Wu should have suffered a little loss. Moreover, the corpse demon's hands did not have much flesh and blood, but had 10 extremely sharp finger bones, which Xiao Wu did not have, which also posed a great threat to Xiao Wu. At this time, the camouflage uniform on Xiao Wu's body had been torn almost completely into rags, revealing the red skin inside, and there were many deep wounds on the skin that could be seen to the bone. Fortunately, Xiao Wu's bones are relatively hard, and the claws of this corpse demon can't crush them, so these are just flesh wounds. They look really miserable, but they are not fatal to Xiao Wu. Even though Xiao Wu is in the battle now, those wounds are all slowly healing, which is why Xiao Wu has the confidence to defeat this corpse demon. Although this corpse demon knows that he may not be Xiao Wu's opponent, he did not choose to escape, but continued to fight with Xiao Wu. It has evolved quite a lot of intelligence and knows that even if he wants to escape, Xiao Wu will not let him go, which will result in his death faster. This corpse demon knows that none of these 4 enemies is easy to deal with. Now his only way out is to kill this red fellow who is fighting with him with all his strength, and then absorb the energy in his body, which may enable him to advance to the next level, and then let those alienated zombies and alienated corpse kings attack with all their strength. At that time, he has the choice of fighting or escaping. However, due to the life core in Xiao Wu's body, Xiao Wu's recovery ability is much better than that of the corpse demon. Therefore, although both of them are wounded, Xiao Wu's injuries are obviously much lighter than that of the corpse demon. Seeing that almost all of his senior subordinates, the corpse wizards, have died, the corpse demon also began to become irritable. It knew that if it did not fight again, when even the alienated corpse kings were dead or injured, it would really have no way out. Die, the corpse demon let out a low roar, and then ignored Xiao Wu's fist hitting its head, but instead grabbed Xiao Wu's head with both claws at the same time, trying to die with Xiao Wu. Xiao Wu seemed to be aroused by blood, and he also roared, and a resolute look flashed in his eyes. He did not dodge, but clenched his other hand into a fist and hit the heart of the zombie. Puff! Puff! 2 loud explosions sounded, and Xiao Wu and the corpse demon's heads exploded at almost the same time, and suddenly a bloody rain fell from the sky. Wang Feng was shocked when he saw this. He thought Xiao Wu would avoid the corpse demon's attack, but he didn't expect Xiao Wu to choose to die with the corpse demon. At this time, even if Wang Feng wanted to rescue Xiao Wu, it was too late. After Xiao Wu and the corpse demon's heads all exploded, Xiao Wu's other fist also smashed into the corpse demon's chest and shattered its heart. Xiao Wu, who lost his head, did not fall down. He raised one hand in the air, still maintaining the posture of smashing the corpse demon's head just now, and the other hand had already inserted into the corpse demon's chest. In fact, the lower hand is Xiao Wu's real killing move. Although there is no life core in the body of the corpse demon, as long as it reaches the level of a 5th level creature, the source of life will naturally be generated in the body. This is also the reason why creatures above level 5 can have strong recovery capabilities. Moreover, the fatal part of this corpse demon has been transferred from the head to the heart. But now, the corpse demon is considered dead and cannot die anymore. As for Xiao Wu, it can only be regarded as seriously injured. Moreover, now Xiao Wu, the hand inserted into the corpse demon's body, is continuously absorbing the body of the corpse demon. Of energy. Wang Feng and number 7 also flew to Xiao Wu's side at this time to protect him. Although Xiao Wu, as a high-level zombie, should not be attacked by other zombies. In order to prevent accidents, they still came Xiao Wu's side. Anyway, they are the same no matter where they are. Moreover, there are not a few high-level zombies such as the alienized Corpse King around Xiao Wu. Although they cannot participate in the battle, out of instinct, the Corpse Demon still summoned some to his side as bodyguards. The moment Xiao Wu's head was crushed just now, Tian Qi told Wang Feng not to worry. Xiao Wu would definitely not die, because Xiao Wu was already a level 6 creature, so the vital points would naturally not be on the target. Distinctive head. Moreover, Xiao Wu also obtained the life core from Wang Feng. The original zombie body and the fusion of the life core make Xiao Wu almost immortal now. As long as his body is not torn to pieces in an instant, even if it is just with only one thigh left, giving him enough time to recover, he could regain his entire body again. From this point of view, Xiao Wu is almost on par with Devourer, and is even much stronger than Devourer, because Devourer at least has a core of consciousness as a weakness, and Xiao Wu, if he can, when the life core is truly completely integrated with the body, his body will become almost without any weaknesses. Now Xiao Wu's only shortcoming is his fighting consciousness. In Wang Feng's view, Xiao Wu's battle with the Corpse Demon just now was totally without any structure and was just a random fight. If it were Wang Feng, he would be able to kill the Corpse Demon without suffering any damage at all. There is no need to kill the Corpse Demon like Xiao Wu, who almost died together. This is also related to Xiao Wu's experience. Judging from the ages of him and Chen Shaoan, before the end of the world, these two little guys should have been college students and could not have had any combat experience. As for after the end of the world, they were lucky enough to appear on Green Island. The campground is a very humane place. Camp leaders like Lu Wanting, Zhang Xiu, Chen Tianhao, and Zhao Taihan would naturally not push these two little guys into the battlefield facing terrifying zombies. Chen Shaoan's combat experience has grown a lot after meeting Wang Feng. It's a pity that Chen Shaoan was unlucky. It was precisely because of his growth in fighting consciousness that he was able to appear in time and save Lu Wanting, but it cost him his own life. Chen Shaoan grew up quickly because he had been with Wang Feng and experienced many battles. As for Xiao Wu, he did not regain his consciousness before Chen Shaoan died, and Chen Shaoan's death destroyed his consciousness. After awakening, he barely fought at all. Because his food at that time was still zombies. After all, he regarded himself as a human being. He couldn't look for living people to use as his food like other zombies, right? Although zombies are disgusting, they are not too unpalatable once you get used to them. Due to Xiao Wu's high level, other zombies did not dare to fight back. This resulted in Xiao Wu having no combat experience at all and relying more on instinct, fighting like a rogue in the market. Hit wherever you hit. After casually killing a few alienated zombies and mutated zombies, Wang Feng looked at Xiao Wu and secretly decided that he must train Xiao Wu's combat ability more. Now facing zombies, he still has certain advantages. When we face the Devourer in the future, the battle will not be so easy. Huh, a muffled groan came from it. It was Qiu Jian. Because of Xiao Wu's scene just now, Wang Feng shifted his attention from Qiu Jian to Xiao Wu. Now hearing Qiu Jian's voice, Wang Feng couldn't help but after looking over, his expression suddenly changed. Doomsday Special Forces. Author, Huanjing Chengzhu. Chapter 510. Qiu Jian didn't have Wang Feng's abnormal recovery ability, nor No 7's special physique that was not afraid of injury, nor Xiao Wu's zombie body, so he was the weakest among the four. However, Qiu Jian had been alone outside and had rich combat experience, which was not much different from Wang Feng. Since entering the zombie tide, Qiu Jian was the one who killed the most high-level zombies, especially the corpse witches. At this time, the 12 or 13 corpse witches surrounding Qiu Jian had been wiped out, but Qiu Jian's physical strength was also the most consumed. Therefore, although the time of entering the zombie tide was not very long, Qiu Jian's physical strength was almost consumed at this time, and Qiu Jian did not have a magic weapon like Apocalypse that could instantly restore physical strength. In addition, before the corpse demon died, he was unwilling to give up, so he issued an order to all his men to attack with all his strength. After receiving this order, the alienated corpse kings and alienated zombies around Qiu Jian rushed forward and launched a fierce attack at all costs. When Wang Feng looked at Qiu Jian had been submerged by the surging corpse tide. Wang Feng, who was horrified, immediately launched the gale without thinking, but Tian Kai suddenly stopped Wang Feng from going to help Qiu Jian. "Don't go. He is still alive now, and the energy fluctuations in his body are very strong. Maybe this is an opportunity for him to break through to level 5. You'd better not interfere. Is he not in danger of life?" Looking at the corpse tide that submerged Qiu Jian, Wang Feng couldn't help asking. "Where is there a place in this world without danger? If you want to get it, you must pay. This is a bet. If you win the bet, he will successfully advance. If you lose the bet, everything after that will have nothing to do with him," Tian Kai sighed. "No," Wang Feng refused flatly, "even if he can't advance this time, there will be opportunities in the future. Don't risk his life." While speaking, Wang Feng had already rushed towards Qiu Jian. He had not reached it yet. In order to let his people advance and get higher combat power, he let him struggle on the line of death. Of course, Wang Feng needed a strong man, but if the price was to exchange his life, Wang Feng could not accept it for the time being. However, just when Wang Feng was about to help Qiu Jian, he suddenly felt a strong energy fluctuation emanating from Qiu Jian's position. Wang Feng stopped immediately and looked at Qiu Jian with a look of surprise. Wang Feng was very familiar with this kind of life energy fluctuation. When he stepped into the threshold of the 5th level creature, it was the same. Now it seems that Qiu Jian should have successfully broken through and entered the realm of the 5th level creature. "Ha!" A loud shout suddenly sounded, and then, the zombies surrounding Qiu Jian were suddenly blown away by a strong airflow. Then, a figure burst out, and the long sword in his hand was continuously pointed out at high speed, and a series of explosions suddenly sounded. This figure was naturally Qiu Jian. Under his long sword, the zombies around him, whether they were alienated zombie kings or alienated zombies, were all killed in one blow. Moreover, Qiu Jian's current speed was actually a little faster than Wang Feng, who did not activate the wind. You know, even if Wang Feng did not activate his wind power, but due to the passiveness of the wind, his speed was not comparable to others. Even some awakened people whose powers were not very powerful, even if they activated their powers, might not be as fast as Wang Feng. Seeing Qiu Jian's state, Wang Feng stopped. Qiu Jian had just been promoted to level 5 and needed to be familiar with the power in his body. These zombies were undoubtedly his best training objects. Moreover, Wang Feng, who had experience, knew that after entering the 5th level, the life core in Qiu Jian's body would truly merge with his body. Although he would not become immortal, at least he would have a qualitative leap in wound healing and physical recovery. Coupled with Qiu Jian's destructive attribute, it would not take long for a terrifying master to be born. His team now had 4 top combat forces including himself, plus Taxus, who could see through people's thoughts, and Zhang Ruhao, who claimed to be able to open any door in the world. I am afraid that there is no place in this world that can stop their team's steps. Yeah. That's right. There is also an Apollo, this guy, at least. Hurricane also needs a driver, right? So it is not a waste of resources. At this time, Xiao Wu had absorbed all the corpse monsters. Yeah. That's right, it was really clean, not even a bone was left. Looking at the constant fluctuation of the life energy around Xiao Wu, Wang Feng couldn't help but feel a little depressed. This guy was already a level 6 creature. If he breaks through again, he might have to step into the level 7 realm before him. This is a big blow to Wang Feng. Although Xiao Wu is unlikely to betray Wang Feng, the stronger Xiao Wu is, the better it should be for Wang Feng, but being surpassed by a little guy who calls himself brother is not an easy thing. But now Wang Feng is stuck at the peak of level 5, and he doesn't even know how to enter level 6. Wang Feng has no idea at all, but fortunately, the space energy in Tiankai has been almost absorbed. According to Apocalypse, there is at most 1 week left before Apocalypse can absorb all the space energy. At that time, perhaps Wang Feng will automatically break through to the realm of level 6 creatures. Seeing that Qiu Jian was still killing non-stop, consolidating and familiarizing himself with his realm, while Xiao Wu was standing quietly in the same place, as if he had entered a mysterious realm, Wang Feng shook his head. Anyway, he had no hope of breaking through now, so he should hurry up and get more Apocalypse points. So Wang Feng asked number 7 to protect Xiao Wu, and he rushed into the zombie group again. While the duration of the gust of wind he had launched to save Qiu Jian had not yet expired, he started killing the alienated zombies and the alienated zombie king again. More than 10 minutes passed again, and Xiao Wu suddenly let out a long roar towards the sky. His strength increased again, but he did not break through to level 7. However, according to Apocalypse's calculations, Xiao Wu is now infinitely close to the peak of level 6, becoming the well-deserved first strongman in their team. Even number 7, who also reached level 6, was a little worse than Xiao Wu. Of course, this was only calculated according to the life level. If it was the real combat power, Xiao Wu was still the worst one. So the top priority now was to quickly improve Xiao Wu's combat experience. Otherwise, after the arrival of the Devourer's nest, Xiao Wu would probably suffer a big loss at the hands of the Devourer. After all, the Devourer was not a zombie. It was impossible for him to be as stupid as the corpse demon and fight Xiao Wu head-on. If Xiao Wu and number 7 started a life and death battle, number 7 would probably win. However, Xiao Wu's situation also gave Wang Feng a headache. Because of the zombies' level suppression, the zombies around Xiao Wu did not dare to attack Xiao Wu. Therefore, even if Xiao Wu wanted to practice combat with zombies, it would not work at all. It seemed that he had to wait for a chance later. Wang Feng secretly decided that if he encountered a devourer in the future, he would try to let Xiao Wu deal with it. Although this guy would suffer a little, with them around, his life should not be in danger. Only in this way can Xiao Wu grow up quickly. As for the zombies, apart from himself, Qiu Jian is the main force in the battle. Number 7 killing zombies is a waste of life energy, and number 7 does not need to use zombies to improve his strength. Wang Feng and Qiu Jian seem to be in a competition, desperately killing the high-level zombies in the zombie tide, while Xiao Wu and number 7 retreated to the hurricane at Wang Feng's signal. After a battle that lasted for nearly an hour, Wang Feng found that there were not many mutant zombies around him, and the mutant zombie kings had died cleanly long ago. As for the mutant zombie kings, Wang Feng didn't care much about their life energy now. At least, the time he spent killing the mutant zombies and the mutant zombie king was basically the same, so Wang Feng felt that instead of wasting time killing the mutant zombie king here, it would be better to find the next zombie gathering point. What's more, their main goal this time was not to kill zombies, but to find the human genetics expert. This is the top priority, and the location of the expert is still far away in Zizhu, which requires crossing the ocean to reach. At this time, the plane is basically unusable. Once the mutant beasts in the air appear, they have no ability to fight back in the plane. Moreover, no one of them can repair the plane. Once there is a malfunction, they can only wait to die. Wang Feng absolutely does not like the feeling that his life is no longer under his control. Therefore, the only way now is to sail out to sea. First go to Bizhu, which is relatively close, then cross Bizhu on land, and then take a boat to Zizhu. This is the fastest way at present. Although Wang Feng knows that according to this method, it may take them 1 or 2 months to reach Zizhu, but for safety reasons, Wang Feng has no other way. Seeing that it was almost over, Wang Feng called out to Qiu Jian, and then the two of them rushed out together. Although there were still dozens of mutated zombies, Wang Feng did not intend to kill them all. He left them here. Perhaps when the people from the Hope Base arrived, high-level zombies such as corpse witches and even corpse demons would appear in this zombie tide.